What's the story, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to GA Fan TV. Dublin 14 points, Kildare 12 points. Dublin are in the Leinster Senior Football Final. Well, that was shocking, wasn't it? That was absolutely terrible. And I'm going to be honest, I've had about 5 or 6 points, so I might delete this video after, to be fair. But I'm back here. I said, I'll make the match reaction. I'll make the reaction. I'll talk about the game, discuss the game, break it down. I will be honest. Probably not a huge amount of analysis is going to be in this reaction. So if you've come here for that, I'm sorry. I apologize. That's not what is going to happen today. But you know what I will say? Number one, Dublin, terrible, dreadful, shocking, very, very poor. Absolutely terrible. I said it to one of my mates. I was at the game, so hence why the match reaction's a little bit later than usual, and hence why I'm only getting around to making the video now. And I will make a video for Louth versus Offaly as well. We'll make that a little bit later on as well, because it was a very interesting game. It obviously went to extra time. Louth obviously won after extra time, in fairness. But yeah, like I was at the game, was on the hill, and went for a few points after and everything else. And I just cannot believe what I just seen there. I actually can't believe we won the game. I cannot believe we actually won the game, because Kildare led up until about the 60th minute. I think the 62nd, 63rd minute. Kildare were the better team today. Kildare should have won that game. Dublin got out of jail. Dublin avoided embarrassment. They genuinely did. That was, I'll be honest with you, I was saying this to one of my mates after the game, and I was saying, I genuinely believe that was one of the worst performances I've ever seen from Dublin in Croke Park. Like, championship performance. And like, I'm not trying to be hugely hyperbolic or anything of that nature, but I'm being genuinely honest. I think, the performance against Meath in 2010 was probably worse, because we conceded 5 goals. We got absolutely torn to pieces. We were very, very poor that day, and we were terrible, and it was a very, very poor performance. But Meath were a good team back then. Meath were a good side. They had Joe Sheridan, they had Stephen Bray, they had good footballers, good players. And I don't want to take anything away from Kildare. Like, fair play to them. They came with a game plan. They put every man behind the ball. They sat in deep. They made life difficult. But Kildare fans will even tell you, and I was chatting to a Kildare fan after the game, he even said we were missing our 2 best forwards. Daniel Flynn and Jimmy Hoyland did not start. They obviously have a couple of injury issues and everything else. If those 2 players played, Kildare would have won this game. I genuinely believe there's probably 8 or 9 counties, possibly more, who would have beaten Dublin today. They genuinely would have beat Dublin. And I know people say, oh, well, it's, Dublin don't care about the Leinster Championship. They only care about the All-Ireland. Oh, it's just the league. It's just the Leinster. And I'm sure the bookies will still have Dublin as 3rd or 4th favourites or whatever it is. It's just absolute BS, to be honest with you. Absolute BS. Dublin will not win the All-Ireland this year. If Dublin win the All-Ireland this year, I will wear a Kerry jersey. I'll wear a Kerry jersey next year. It's not going to happen. It's genuinely not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The players are there, the talent is there, but we're just like the first half. It was like we forgot what sport we were playing. It genuinely looked like we forgot we were playing Gaelic football and we were playing soccer, because we were just trying to run the ball through the middle, playing basketball or something. I don't know what it was. It genuinely looked like we forgot we were playing Gaelic football. There was a huge hesitancy to shoot. We weren't shooting at all. Like, take your opportunities, take your chances. Con O'Callaghan, Kieran Kilkenny, Con Basquel getting themselves into good positions, Brian Fenton, and there was a reluctancy to shoot. We did not want to shoot at all. We did not want to take the chances on. We did not want to take the opportunities on. I don't know why. The only thing I can think of is that we've been coached over. Obviously it's down to Desi and the backroom team and everything else, and they're saying we need to keep the ball, we need to keep possession, wait for the right opportunities. But we weren't taking shots on. And then the most bizarre thing ever in the second half, we started taking opportunities, but we were shooting from the most ridiculous angles. I mean, that chance at the end from Dean Rock, I genuinely believe I would score that, and that's coming from me. I played junior B football growing up. I'm clearly nowhere near good enough to play at the level of those Dublin footballers. But Dean Rock slices the ball like Mark Donnellan's way out of his goal. It's an open goal, and he hits it with the outside of his boot. It makes no sense. Why not lob the ball? And to be fair, it didn't matter. Like, the ball went wide. Referee blew up the whistle. It made absolutely no difference. But some of the shooting in the second half was absolutely dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. And look, you have to commend Kildare. Like, fair play to them. They came with energy. They came with fight. And everything we spoke about of Kildare, you know, in podcasts and videos and everything else was untrue in terms of this game, because Kildare did absolutely everything possible to win this game. What they were missing was quality. They were missing players who could actually win them the game. And, you know, Ben McCormack, I thought, had a very decent game. Dara Kirwan was lively. Jack Robinson caused all sorts of problems. It was actually a very similar game to that of the league game earlier in the season. And I just don't know what it was, but Dublin were so hesitant, and there was no killer instinct, no appetite to go out and, like, against Laois, we went for their throat, we opened them up. Kildare were set up well and set up defensively, but there were chances there to put the ball over the bar, and we just did not do so. And as I said before, I genuinely believe Louth, Derry, Donegal, maybe not Donegal right now, to be fair, they're in a mess. Tyrone, Armagh, Kerry, Mayo, Galway, Roscommon, whoever I'm missing there would have beaten Dublin today. They would have beaten Dublin today. It was a really, really poor performance. And, you know, everyone will say, oh, well, Dublin are saving themselves for the All-Ireland series and everything else. I just don't see that. I don't see that. Like, McCaffrey's playing, Mannion's playing. Even Stephen Cluxton was playing. Stephen Cluxton started in the game. Absolute madness. Crazy, crazy stuff right there. I mean, I always had a feeling he would. And I even said it in previous podcasts and videos and everything else. I said that, why do you bring Stephen Cluxton back to be on the bench? It makes zero sense. It makes zero sense. Like, why would he come out of retirement to not play? Do you know what I mean? It makes zero sense. And he started the game. And to be fair, that save he made, I think it was after 8 or 9 minutes. I don't know which Kildare player it was who had the chance. It might have been Ben McCormack. What a save. What a save from Cluxton. And to be fair to him, he missed a 45, but I actually thought he played quite well. His kickouts are fairly decent. He'd done a lot right in the game. And it was a very, very solid performance from him. But yeah, there was a lot wrong with that performance. And look, it is amateur footballers and everything else. I don't want to be too critical or, you know, go over the top. But, you know, Dublin, as we believe, have been told, or what rival fans say, is that we're professional, you know, a professional team, everything else. And not a sign of that today. And I will be perfectly honest. Kildare, Meath, Louth, Westmeath, even, you know, I don't, awfully, to be fair, probably punching above their weight, but those 4 counties, and we put Louth in that conversation, but Louth are probably the anomaly because of how good of a season they're having. But Westmeath, maybe not Westmeath as well, but Kildare and Meath, get your act together. Look at that. You know what I mean? You're all this talk about, oh, Dublin have a monopoly in Leinster, everything else. Dublin are there for the taking. They are there for the taking. And you know what the funny thing is? We'll probably go back and prove, and we'll probably go out and put in a great performance against Louth, and this will all be swept under the carpet. But this was Dublin are there for the taking. We are not the same team under this management, unfortunately. You know, and the players are trying. They're putting in, like, in the game, it looked like they were putting in the effort, but we were just coached wrong. You know, not taking chances on, not taking opportunities, not going for the killer instinct, not, you know, trying to make it happen as it is. So yeah, plenty of comments flying in there. Much appreciated. Meadman says Leinster football on the rise. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Maybe in terms of quality, in terms of, you know, entertainment, but honestly, Louth have the potential to beat Dublin. No one can say it will be a blowout. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Louth will be, you know, rubbing their lips, you know, rubbing their hands together. They'll be looking at that and thinking, we have a serious chance here. We have a serious opportunity of beating Dublin. Now, the thing is, and I was saying this as well, I was like, because Dublin played so badly, and as I said, I think it was one of our worst ever performances in Croke Park in the history of the All-Ireland, you know, going as far, in my lifetime. I can't speak for the 70s, 60s, 80s, 90s. I can't speak for that era. But in my lifetime, like, that's one of the worst performances. Like, Westmeath 2004, Laois 2003. Those were good teams. Those were great teams. And Kildare, whilst they've had a bit of underage success and everything else, look at how they've performed in the league this year. They didn't even blow Wicklow away. Do you know what I mean? That was a close game up until about 40, 50 minutes. And they were missing a lot of their best players, including Jimmy Hoyland and Daniel Flynn. So they weren't even at their brilliant best. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so there you go. The Kildare team of 2018, Meath team of 2020, all could have beaten Dublin today. They peaked too early. They definitely could have. And that's the thing about Kildare. Like, if Davy Burke was in charge of Kildare today, they would have beat us. They definitely would have beat us. No mistake about it. And Look, Kildare have all the potential in the world. They beat Dublin at under 20 level a couple of weeks, during the week as well. They've great players coming through at the minute. Their age profile is perfect. They're more than capable of winning the Leinster title and beating Dublin. Like they're more than capable. They just need to build consistency, get their act together, and it will happen. I believe it will happen. Dublin are there for the taking. No All Ireland this year. Kerry, Galway, front runners for Sam. Absolutely, yeah. Like I don't, Kerry, Galway, Mayo, all better than Dublin. All better than Dublin, in my opinion. I'd worry for Dublin if we face Kerry, Galway, Armagh, Derry. Like, yeah, absolutely. Like the only thing I would say is like Dublin can't get any worse than how they played, and the players are there, the potential is there, the quality is there. But it was just there was just a lot. There was so much complacency. We acted like the game was won before it even started. And whether that was complacency seeping in from the fan base or just a general feeling around the camp. Kildare have been really poor this year. We shouldn't need to be at our best and we'll probably win the game comfortably. But Jim Gavin under Dublin, Dublin just went out and just pummeled teams, blew them away from start to finish. There was no complacency whatsoever. And that was probably a time when we could be complacent, So there you go. Dublin got out of jail, not good, and Loud will give them a game. Rory says, don't worry, Aaron, these Dublin players have been in this position before, I'm sure. We have been in this position, but it's just, it'd be like, but we were never in this position in the 6 in a row era or the 5 in a row era. Even in Pat Gilroy's 2011 side, although we came close to, I think we beat Kildare by a point in that game, but it was never a foregone conclusion like in this match. And in previous games there was a lot. Yeah, like there's just, I don't know, there's just something not right about Dublin. And look, huge respect to Dessie Farrell for what he's brought to Dublin. Winning All-Ireland in 2020, winning under 20 All-Ireland, minor All-Ireland as a manager, and winning All-Ireland as a player. Like there's, he's completed the set right there. There's probably no one in the history of Dublin GA that might ever do that again, and fair play to him. But it's not, I just don't think it's there. I do think Dublin will probably need to look elsewhere now, in my opinion. Having games like that in Croke Park is brutal. Imagine Loud versus Offaly in a packed Navan, or Dublin versus Kildare in Portlaoise. Yeah, it's a great point. And I think if this game was in Portlaoise, Navan, Cusack Park or something of that nature, Tullamore, like I think Kildare would have won the game. The atmosphere was actually quite good because Dublin were in trouble, and there was moments in the game where the Dublin fans got on their feet and started singing, and weirdly, the atmosphere wasn't terrible because a lot of people were just giving out, you know what I mean? And a lot of people realized there was actual game, and the Kildare fans, there wasn't, they didn't look like much Kildare fans that traveled to the game. And to be fair, you can completely understand why. Why would they travel? Given the fact that people would believe that Dublin would win the game easily. Well, the Kildare fans that were there were making noise, and you just got that sense at half time and after 50 or 60 minutes, like there's an opportunity here. There is a chance, and we might just witness history. It's definitely the closest that any team has come to beating Dublin in this 13-year spell. But there we go. Loud kicked 27 points today. Mickey Hart is doing a super job. Absolutely. And I will do a reaction to that game maybe in an hour, give or take. Need to sober up a little bit, actually, in fairness. Rory said we will still win, Sam. I disagree, but there you go. Dublin are never going to repeat their past days. I wouldn't go as far as that. Dublin are a big county. There is a lot of resources, as everyone said before. We will get it right at some point. Will he do a stream on Limerick versus Clare? Unfortunately, I didn't get around to watching that game last night, unfortunately. Hopefully, I will do something at some point. If not tonight, tomorrow morning. I will do something on that at some stage because, it was huge, Clare beating Limerick, but I just didn't watch the game, unfortunately. Dean Rock, bad wide at the end. Yeah, it was, and that probably summed Dublin up. And, even that moment, Daniel Flynn comes on, turns his man inside out. They said he ran the ball out over on the sideline. From looking at it on the replay, it didn't look like that happened, to be honest with you. And I think Kildare were a little bit unlucky there. No real absolute favourite for Sam this year. Derry, KO, Mayo, Dublin, one of them can't wait for the business end of the championship. And look, you wouldn't rule Dublin out based off the players that they have available to them. The fact we are bringing Dean Rock on, but I just think there was a huge amount of complacency. Even the fact that we took Paul Mannion off, I think at about 58 minutes, 48 minutes, something like that. He was our best player. And we took him off. And why do you take your best player off when you're losing? It makes no sense. But there we go. Who are your favourites for Sam? I put Galway, Mayo, Kerry. I think there's the three front runners, to be honest with you. I think they're the three front runners. I don't think there'll be much between either of them. I think they're the three. I'd be surprised if it was anyone other than them three, to be honest. I think Dublin, Derry, I think are in that bracket, probably underneath ever so slightly. But yeah, I think Galway. I think Galway, Kerry, and Mayo are definitely the three front runners. I'd actually probably put Galway as the favourites now, to be honest with you. But there we go. But there we are. Beast says it will take Dublin a few more good years to take a crack at Sam. Yeah, and the fact we're getting all the older guard out, like Mannion, well, not older guard, like Mannion and McCaffrey are still young, but they weren't playing for Dublin the last couple of years. Cluxton as well. The fact we got all of them back and it's still lethargic. And it's just, I don't think the Dublin players were not trying. I think they were. I've seen challengers go in. I've seen. I thought we were fairly decent defensively at times, although we were opened up. And I thought we moved the ball well, but it just looked like we were told. We looked frightened. We looked scared. Dublin looked scared. It looked like they were just reluctant to actually shoot or do anything of any significance in the game. And it's strange to think that, because with the players that you have in Paul Mannion, Brian Fenton, these players, why are we not shooting? Why are we not taking the chances on? And look, Louth will rub their hands together and believe they have an opportunity. But to be honest with you, I think Dublin surely will go back to the drawing board and improve for the next game. It has to happen. It just has to happen. But Louth will have a chance. Because Louth will be better going forward. Imagine a player like Samuel Roy, Darragh McConnon, Conor Grimes, these players running at this Dublin defence. Kildare had chances towards the end of the game. They dropped a few short, dropped a few chances wide. The opportunity was there for Kildare today. It was 100% there. And look, from a Kildare perspective, I think they can take a lot of positives. Under 20s are going very well. I think Kildare will come good. Kildare will come good. They have some great players there. A few injuries, Jimmy Hoyle and Daniel Flynn. They should be in the I think they're in the All-Ireland series now. I think they're guaranteed for the All-Ireland series. Correct me if I'm wrong. Look, they'll go in as a pot 4 side, but they'll probably go in as the best of all the pot 4 teams. You know what I mean? And I think there's been a lot wrong with Kildare this year, but I think they have a good base of a team there and a good base of players there. And I think they'll be, I think they could cause a few issues. The fact that they were set up so well in this game surprised me, because Kildare have never been this type of team to sit back and defend and absorb pressure. The fact that they were able to nullify Dublin as much as they did were very impressive. But there we go. Sosta says, is fatigue a factor for some teams? And Hurl and Limerick were reported to be spent by the end of their match yesterday. Yeah, as I was saying there, I will need to go back and watch the Limerick-Clare game. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch it, which was a disappointment. It was just up to other things, as they say. But yeah, I think I don't really know, because Dublin have played like this all year. Do you know what I mean? This was a very similar game to the game against Clare. Very, very similar. The only difference was that day was that we were further behind, and we actually showed a lot of fight and energy, and we started playing football in the final 10 minutes. Whereas in this game, we were putting the ball wide, but it was a mile wide. It wasn't like we were near misses or anything. We were putting the ball meters wide. It was very poor, very poor. But there we go. Dublin struggle versus Clare, so there's something amiss, but Kildare were not lucky to win. Eaton says, what about Armagh? Yeah, look, Armagh, look, I didn't see the game against Down, but I think last time I saw the game, they were winning quite comfortably. So, look, Armagh have the players there. Armagh can, Armagh beat Dublin earlier, last year. So, yeah, like I think if Armagh were playing Dublin today, they would have beat us. No mistake. No mistake about that. But there you go. But yeah, in terms of man of the match, I mean, from a Dublin perspective, I'd probably give it to Gluckston, to be honest with you, because he made a big save in the first half. His kickouts were very good. Ben McCormick is very good for Kildare. You could probably give it to him, but I think there was, it's very hard to actually look at who was actually man of the match from a Kildare perspective. Kevin Flynn had a decent game. Mick O'Grady as well. In fairness, Aaron Masterson done quite well around midfield. But from a Dublin perspective, it's very hard to look at who was actually man of the match. Probably Cluxton, but there we go. But yeah, look, Dublin get the victory. At the end of the day, we did win the game, and it has been a common theme this year to play terrible and still win matches. And if that continues, I'll be very happy, because it would result in Dublin winning the All-Ireland. But I just don't see it. I don't see it, and unfortunately, I think next season, hopefully with new management and everything else. I mean, look, we brought Mannion back, we brought McCaffrey back, we brought Cluxton back. Why not bring the legend himself, Jim Gavin, back? Let's bring them all back while we're at it. You know what I mean? Bring them all back and let's go again. But yeah, look, good performance from Kildare in some respects, but I think they just lacked quality. I think it wasn't like they bottled it, or the effort levels were not there. They just didn't have the players. They didn't have the quality there. They were missing some very good players, and with the underage that Kildare are having at the minute, if I was a Kildare fan, I'd be confident. I'd be confident for the future. But this will be a tough one to take, no doubt about it, because you came very close to making it happen. But there we go. Alan says the Dubs got away with one. They definitely did. They definitely did. But there we go. I'll wrap this up here anyway. As I said, I will do a reaction to the Louth Offaly game. I was there for that game as well. Did a bit of a match day vlog as well. Funny enough, I actually tailored the vlog mostly to Louth Offaly. I didn't record anything for Dublin Kildare because I just thought Dublin would win by 15, 20 points. And I didn't think there'd be much to show. But there we go. Look at that. We've all been proved wrong. And if anything, it's mad to think the Dublin Kildare game, I think in terms of margin of victory, was the smallest of the weekend. I know Louth Offaly went extra time, but yeah, just crazy to think that. Who would have thought that this game would have been the closest game of all of them at the weekend? But there we go. So yeah, big result for Dublin. Big result that we get to the final, but performance-wise, not there, most certainly. And yeah, there we go. So yeah, we'll wrap this up here. Cheers anyone who tuned in. Hit the like button and subscribe. Getting closer to 4K subs. So if you could subscribe, it would be great, and it would certainly make me feel better than having watched what I just witnessed. Do you know what the crazy thing was? I was in the living room. I walked in. I'm a Liverpool fan as well. Richarlison just scored, and I was like, do you know what? I'm done. Finished. I'm gone. So I said, I'll go toilet quickly, and then I'll be out. Came back out 4-3. All right, then I'll stay for a few. But there we go. So yeah, good result for Dublin. I'll see you all soon.